2, 3. We're live.
We're live. We're live. Am I hosting this?
You're the one. You suck.
I'm the one that did this.
Dieciocho. What embargo?
Dieciocho. I'm taking credit for this shit. So, how's everybody doing this evening out there in cigar world that happened to waste your time listening to us? I hope you're all doing well. This evening we have some special guests on our show. We invited the gentleman from Blindsman's Puff over here. We've got Aaron, Emmett, and my buddy June. They all joined us for a special show that we decided to do. I had a weird. This is funny because this all came up. I think June and I were either VHerfing or texting one night about it. But we were trying to come up with ideas for the show because honestly we don't know what the hell we're going to talk about because this isn't like Nicaraguan world where there's a new cigar company coming out every week and they want to give away free shit so that people smoke their shitty ass cigars. So we have to be creative and come up with ideas. And I think June and I were texting one night about it, and then like maybe 2 weeks later I messaged Emmett on Twitter, and then we saw each other and said, "Hi, we're busy at IPCPR," and then finally kind of followed up and went for it. So I want to take a second before we introduce everybody to say congratulations to Aaron. Him and his wife just had a baby. We had actually planned this around the birth so that we could get this done before the baby was born, but they had the baby last week. So congratulations, Aaron.
Yay! Google clap.
Let it go, man.
Go, baby.
Where's that Google clap?
Yeah.
Oh, we could do that.
Anyway.
Yeah, that cheesy crap. I think I have it on here somewhere. But anyway, so guys, I just want you to introduce yourself for a second, one by one, and tell us what cigars you like. I mean, this is a Habano show, so I want to know what Habano show you like. If you want to tell me what other shitty cigars you like as well, then you're more than welcome.
Let's
Just
first,
kidding.
Let's begin by saying, and I'll say this Blindman's Puff, you guys have an incredible method for rating cigars.
Oh, yeah.
It is incredible, and I've never done as much work while reviewing a cigar than when I did for you all, and I can tell you it's thorough. And besides the fact that my results are true, it was a great method. You guys are really on top of things. You guys have a great site as well. So this was a great opportunity. I appreciate everyone. So we can go to the introductions now.
So let's do introductions, and then we'll talk about the site because I definitely want you guys to. I think you do have one of the best takes on reviewing out there. So first off, we have Mr. Aaron Lewis, brand new daddy. Tell us about yourself, Aaron. What do you like? What don't you like? What do you hate?
I'm more of a non-Cuban fan. I just haven't had the great experiences with the majority of Cubans that I've smoked, but
Neither have we.
June's trying to push me down that slope a little bit more, but
He's good with that.
You don't have to. It doesn't matter. Maybe or not.
Yeah. On the non-Cuban side, I'm an Illusione fan, but there's lots of good stuff out there. Cuban side, Cohiba Robustos, PSD4s, some of the common stuff. I haven't gotten too much into any of the limited editions or regionals, so but I'm hoping to change that soon.
Cool. What about you, Emmett?
Let's see. I'm probably 50-50 Cuban, non-Cuban for what I smoke. I really like. I've got into some aging stuff in the last few years, so I've been trying to find some stuff with some decent age on it and build my collection. I'd say my favorite Cubans are. It's so hard to pick. I haven't really had any. Well, actually, I take that back. The one that the only Cuban I really didn't like was the Vegas Robina.
Oh, you suck.
I know. But I tried
son
it
of a
again
bitch.
later and liked it, so that was really the only time I didn't like it.
And last but not least, the man, the month, the legend, Mr. June.
Hello. So I'm a reviewer for Blindman's Puff. Been doing it for the last, a month maybe?
Yeah, a little more than a month probably.
Yeah, been great. Met Aaron through Blindman's. Well, I met Aaron just because Aaron's like 40 minutes away from me. We got together in Herved, and then I joined Blind Man's Puff after that, shortly after that. And in terms of Cubans, I'll give any cigar a try, but so far what's been really good, I'm smoking a shit out of Muno Dante 54s, which I think will only get better. I love Boulevards in general. I got some Coronas Juniors from '06 that are smoking wonderfully. I like H. Cohibas. Yeah, I saw your review on it a few months ago. What else? I like a good on SLR. So like a '09 double Coronas are fucking amazing. What else? In terms of smoking, stock-wise, I'm one of those guys that did the non-Cuban ditch, and now my stock is about 90% Cuban and 10% non-Cuban. But the non-Cuban, I still smoke non-Cubans, but I'm super picky about what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have a ton. I can't get rid of them.
Well,
but there's a lot of that I like. I mean, so and I kind of use them to age all of my Cuban stuff so that I don't touch it. You know, especially like the custom rolls that I'm smoking right now. You know, that really need a lot of time, fresh. You know, that's I don't mind smoking them at all. There's a lot of stuff that I like, but anyways, enough about that. So, for those of you that don't know, we did we had this crazy idea to do a blind Habanos kind of show, and involving these guys because their website is so unique. And basically, what we did was we had one guy send all of us 2 different cigars, and we did reviews on those cigars, and then they posted them on the website yesterday. Sorry, my brain's fried. And we all kind of gave our thoughts for them, and they got an overall rating. We didn't know what they were. We just kind of went blindly into it and posted and went from there. So that being said, normally, Aaron, you're the guy who always sends the cigars out, right?
Typically, I'm the one that sends them out, yeah.
Okay. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get you involved, was because I figured we could kind of flip the tables a little bit and have you doing the review. So why don't you guys take a second to tell us, how you and Emmett became partners, because I don't know, and how, I mean, Seth and I, we were like, hi, let's do the show, okay, cool, blah, and we did it.
Right.
One thing, though, our French
because I know you.
Our French follower Guy is probably going to have so much fucking hate mail for this show as of like 8 minutes into it right now. Last show we got fucking ripped a new one, and it's already starting again. So
He's hating on us right now.
Fucking emails. I'm not the one who started this shit, so we're going to start talking about Cubans too. Just have a little patience, and we're getting there.
Oh, is he pissed off? Is he emailing you already?
No, not yet, but he will.
All right.
He's faithful.
He'll be
like
fine.
that. He's good.
I've got all sorts of shit for him. He'll be good. So, anyways, Aaron and Emmett, if you guys want to take a sec to kind of give us a background on what Blind Man's Puff is, what you guys do. I know you guys do review Cuban and non-Cuban stuff. So go ahead and give us a little bit of background, how you guys hooked up, and how long you've been doing this, and what the whole purpose of the show is while this asshole is just checking his phone.
Well, I came up with the idea for the site. I guess it was the beginning of last year. I had just been reading, like, it was right after the Cigar Aficionado Top 25 list came out, and I was just pissed off at their ridiculous selections, and I was just thinking, like,
what year was this? What year?
It was the beginning of, I guess, so the 25 list would have been from 12.
What was this? So what was the number one that year? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember what the number one was, but I remember that the Romeo by the General Romeo got like number 3 or something.
That is probably one of the most amazing cigars on the market right now.
That was an amazing cigar.
I don't know.
But anyway, I was just trying to think of like how we could do blind reviews better than them, and because they only give you like a 1-sentence description that's pretty generic, and you get a score and that's it. So I figured I could kind of combine the idea of really detailed review like a lot of bloggers do, and just do it blind, and kind of went from there. And then Aaron volunteered to be the distributor of the cigars, and he as we went along further, he became more and more involved, and he works just as hard as I do now. So he does a lot of work.
So did he just like meet you on Twitter and some shit, and that was that, or what? How did you guys know each other?
It was on Stogie Friends. I kind of put up a here's my idea, who wants in kind of post, and he was one of the first ones to respond.
Nice.
And then he was able to go to IPCPR the first year, so we got to meet in person and I get to know each other there. So there you have it.
Nice. So talk about the actual process, Aaron, since you're the guy who sends these things out. What's a normal process for you? I mean, how easy is it for you to be like, yo, manufacturer, send me like half a dozen of your sticks, because I'm going to send them out to all these people and we're going to blindly review them, so deal with it.
So I'll kind of tell you how we started out, actually. The way we did it was all of the reviewers that we brought into the site, the way we set it up was that each of the reviewers was going to send in a 5-pack of cigars.
Oh, okay.
Based on everybody doing that together, then we would distribute them out. So the person that sent theirs in, they would not be on the review because it's maybe something they've smoked a lot of, and they would be able to probably guess it pretty quickly. So we just made sure we weren't sending stuff back. So I think we ran that format for probably about 3 months or so. And then what we decided to do was just have everybody send in like $35 or something, and then we would just go out and buy a bunch of stuff that we wanted to review on the site.
Oh, cool.
And then we'd ship it out that way. And then that got us through to IPCPR in 2013. And while we were there, we were received really well. We were kind of surprised by that. We didn't know how we were going to be received, being a nobody website that probably nobody had heard of. But everybody was really nice to us. We kind of explained our process, and they seemed very interested in participating. Not saying that everybody wanted to give us free cigars, but some were interested. I mean, boutiques seem to love the new media format. I think it's probably the best way for them to get the name out there. They can't afford the cigar aficionado ads like some of the bigger companies can. So we started getting some cigars rolling in after the show, and then we kind of went from there. They shipped them over to us, or they gave them to us at the show. And then after the show, we were set up for a few months, and then as we continued the relationship with the manufacturers, new stuff that came out, they'd send them out, and we'd distribute them and continue on the review process that way.
Nice. So you guys also do Cubans on your side as well. Historically, have you noticed a difference in the rating of them versus non-Cubans?
I don't think we've ever had a Cuban score less than 90. They always score at least very good. I think we've had one in the 93 or 94. We haven't had all the highest scoring ones, though, are mostly cigars that nobody's heard about, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of experienced Cuban reviewers? Like Cuban smokers, that are guys that have been smoking Cubans for a while?
Yeah, we've got a few guys that have been longtime smokers, and that includes Cubans. But I think and correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of the initial draw of this was to be able to bring in people that kind of had the everyday cigar smoker kind of background and wanted to be able to just give an easily understood review of something and not get too deep into the history of different Cuban brands and how the flavors corresponded to that. So
the reason why I ask is because every time I open up Cigar Aficionado and I look at their rating, you'll always see that the Cubans seem to rate a little bit higher, at least the last couple of years specifically. So I was curious because I don't know what the data looks like on your site, but I was curious to see if they seem to rate a little bit higher than the rest of them, given that you have such a wide array of reviewers who are doing stuff on your show. So on your
I think they do score higher, but I will say that the breakdown between non-Cubans versus Cubans that we reviewed probably is 95% non-Cubans, 5% Cubans. So it's not like we have a 50-50 split or anything like that. So it may just be the fact that we had good the ones we have done have been good Cubans versus bad Cubans, or it could just be that that's how it would shake out no matter what.
We have a question from the peanut gallery. June, have you pooped yet?
Oh, I will. Dude, fucking halfway done, I'm gonna have to go. Who asked that?
Sherman asked if you pooped yet.
Oh, that's
That's a wonderful question.
I figured we'd ask it. There's a history behind June and his stool, if you will.
simple cigar 101. Smoke a cigar, you go.
So before the reveal, let's get you guys' guesses in. I want to get you guys' guesses in. What do you think? Seth, you're being quiet over there, staring at your 898, your flannel on. You look like you're straight out of the Seattle rock scene, dude. In the 90s.
I'm just Well, I'm like a Pearl Jam guy.
Yeah.
Guesses. I told you my guess on the Corona Gorda. I'm assuming it's a Corona Gorda. I thought it was I thought it was the 2012 Limitada Partagas. That was my guess. It smoked like a Partagas, and that was mine. The other one, you kind of told me your guess beforehand. I didn't really care for it that much. So, given what you told me what it was, it makes sense because I'm not a big fan of the El Rey del Mundo brand. But those were my guesses. After you said it, I was like, yeah, I can see this being El Rey del Mundo. So I really didn't focus, but it had excellent construction. So I think your notes on that since Catfish were fucking terrible. So mine smoked wonderful.
Wait, so let me
what do you think?
So what's up?
Seth, so why Partagas? So what do you typically get out of Partagas, and what do you typically get out of you thought the second one was ERDM?
Yeah, well, Catfish, I'm not gonna lie, Catfish kind of is like, I swear this is an ERDM. To me, the flavors on the ERDM, I mean, they're lighter. I don't want to say bland. They're not bland. They're just not my cup of tea. It's almost like Kate Orsay. It's just kind of, just a little bit fruity, a little soft, little herbal, floral notes, and it just kind of remains very consistent from beginning to end. That's what I get. Partagas is, I mean, it's just robust. I always, when I think of Partagas, it's stone fruit qualities. I always say come to mind. There's some coffee, earth, some wood, tobacco. I mean, it's just very round. It's very filling. There's a lot to it, and that's why when smoking, I was like, wow, this really reminds me of Partagas, and just not a lot of the other brands come to mind with it. So that's why I guess Partagas. But it was one of those things. I was just too busy enjoying the damn thing. I really didn't care what it was. So I'd be interested in what it is because if I'm wrong, I want to know what it is because that was tasty as hell.
It was. Emmett, what do you think, bro?
I liked the number one. The first one we did a lot better than the second one.
Was that the smaller ring gauge?
I can't remember.
Number one,
smaller ring gauge was the second one, right?
Number 2 was the small one. Number 1 was a Corona Gorda, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
So the number one, I think I wrote in my notes that my guess was a Romeo and Julieta. Just kind of a little bit of fruit tasting in there, maybe like a orange peel kind of taste. I usually get that with Romeo and Julieta, and nice amount of twang, but the whole body was pretty mellow overall. So that was my guess. The second one, I have no idea. I have no guess for that one.
Aaron, what about you, bro?
So I don't have enough Cuban background to be able to place it with a brand, so I'm not even going to take a feeble guess at it. I'll be way off. So the only thing I would do is I would pick a brand that nobody's mentioned yet, just to see if I could, blow you guys off by, and then I look like a whiz. So.
I thought the little one was. Part of me thought of ERDM, another part of me thought it might have been Punch. I thought the big one at first was the first third was Partagas, but then the last part of it reminded me of Romeo as well, Emmett. So I think I went with Romeo. I think I said it. I thought it was Romeo, even though the first part was like serious Partagas. I didn't feel like it finished like a Partagas normally would at the end. And I've had Romeos that have tricked me into being Partagas before on your website. So I actually did a guest review for all of you out there in internet world with Blind Man's before, and it ended up being a Romeo, and I thought it was a Partagas. So,
Yeah, that's
so
right.
June, give us the reveal, dude. Give us the reveal, June. What the hell did you send us?
You guys didn't get any of it right.
Not kidding.
Should have guessed.
Nice.
Suck my dick.
So after I review, I'll give you a take of why I chose these. So the first one is
Shut up. That was an Oya?
What?
Whoa! What?
Wow.
What was it? Epicure number one?
Oh, we gotta focus on this. No fucking way, man.
There you
Really?
go.
yeah. Guess the box code.
13, 14.
12.
You know,
Wow.
I think that was a Partagas.
That's
I think
awesome.
that was a mistake, and they actually put Partagas in there. So
That was a really good smoke too. I mean,
that
it
was
great.
really good. Damn, Epicure number one.
And,
No kidding.
well, let's tell everybody what the code was, because a lot of our listeners, just so you guys know, a lot of our listeners don't actually watch because they don't want to see our ugly asses. They listen to our podcast after the fact on iTunes or YouTube or whatever. But the box code was ENE. What was that? What was the
SOT, which
12.
is SOT is the factory code. ENE January 12, 2012.
Man, that was
Wow.
one. That was one hell
Surprising,
of
right?
a Oya. Yeah, man. Wow. I'm
You never
blown
think
away.
that give you such like stone fruit and all that. Not to this extent.
That was jeez. Now, I mean, you're obviously smoking them. You got to be damn near impressed with those Oyas, because that's amazing.
No, it's surprising how good the box is. So
Yeah.
Interesting, because I had really good experiences with the Hoyo one, the Robusto. Is the number one the Robusto?
2.
Okay, so that was the number one that we did, right, June?
yeah, this is the number one. This is the Corona Border.
The number twos lately I've been extremely impressed with. In that same way, they just have these crazy changes going on, like mind-blowingly complex and just all over the board, and not like what I would expect from Hoyo. So
Wow.
that's really
No.
that's a good one, dude. Very very good choice.
And just to let the listeners and the watchers know, before I sent these out, I asked everyone to not go look at it on the internet to any extent, meaning, no looking at Trevor's site, no looking at anything. So, to really facilitate a true blind review. So, and nobody did that because you guys are not lying sons of bitches.
No.
Yeah. I'm still shocked that's an Oya, man. Wow. That's probably the
So it
worst
ended up
one.
on the site with a score of 94, which is, I believe, the highest Cuban score we've ever given.
That's a
Is
hell
it?
of
Did
a-
it score
that's
that
a-
high?
Yeah, 94. That's the second highest score ever.
That's a
That's
hell of a
funny
lot,
because
man.
I
We've had
honestly I
94.
thought it was a Limitada.
Yeah.
I did too. I mean, it's one of those things I looked at. I mean, I guessed it was kind of a Corona Gorda. So, when you smoke them, you look at it, you're like, okay, this is Corona Gorda. So, first thing that comes to my mind is obviously Cuban Corona Gordas. And it's, they all come to mind. And then you're lighting it up, I'm like, wow, this tastes like a Partagas. I'm like, Partagas doesn't have a Corona Gorda. The last time they had one was a Limitada. So I'm like, yeah, man, Limitada, dark wrapper, beautiful. But that's an Oya, and that is a damn incredible cigar. I'm shocked.
For a new production that's smoking so damn good, it's pretty crazy what Cuba's doing for recent stock. It's freaking amazing.
That's young. Oh, wow,
I mean,
that's good.
And really, the reality is I've had such good experiences with some of the releases from 2011 to 2013. They're smoking so good, fresh. It's like tons of body, flavor. I mean, they have their weird spots. I just did a review on this week on the Petit et Mundo, and it was a 2013 box. Maybe it has a little year and a half of age on it, and I've smoked half this box already. And when I actually reviewed it, because I hadn't had one in a while, it wasn't as good as what I'd remembered, but it was still good. And so I know that it's probably going through a shift where it's going to take another year and a half to really kind of open up again. But still, everything I've been buying fresh lately has been really, really good. I mean, some of them need 6 months, but they're pretty good right off the damn bat. That's very surprising.
You know what it makes me go back to is that Juan Lopez Celestia number 2, that Robusto I got catfish.
Yeah.
That thing was legit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop smoking those damn things. What's number 2,
Price is
man?
good on those too.
All right, number 2,
Oh,
definitely
man.
has some pretty heavy on them. So the marca is
Boulevard. Wow.
Boulevard.
all right. So
I just got
Boulevard
fucked in the dick.
and Coronas, which is no
Oh,
longer
wow.
in production,
I
and the
knew it was
box
old.
code is NNSUVC1, which is November '98.
Holy shit.
Holy crap.
I knew
You
it
know,
was
that
old.
that would explain why it looked the way it did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why you guys thought it was so light.
Yeah, it was definitely lighter.
Man, I killed that Boulevard, and I love Boulevard as a brand. I love them.
I know you do. That's why I picked Boulevard, Seth.
You killed me.
So you can say it sucked.
You killed me. I got Simon on the wall behind me. Give me the fucking finger. Jeez. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Damn. I hated that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's the thing is that I know that most guys are, especially newer Cuban smokers that have been smoking non-Cubans for a while. They like their stronger Boulevards and all that, and I thought, I wonder if these guys would know if you can taste any fresh Boulevard-ish flavors of like that really strong hay and barnyard and that musk in a well-aged one, and you can't. I mean, not in this box, anyways.
No, I mean, even, I have some Royal Coronas from 07, 08, which 7 years on it. And that is still nowhere near what that is.
Yeah. And some guys think that those cigars are dead cigars, which I don't think it is at all, personally.
It's not a dead cigar. It's not a dead cigar one bit. I don't care for the flavor profile on it, but it's a dead cigar. And the construction on that Corona, by the way, mine was fantastic. I don't know about the rest of you guys,
really good.
but mine was amazing.
I could see where people would say it was dead, because to me it didn't seem very complex. I don't know about the rest of you guys. It didn't seem like I had a ton of depth to it.
You gave it a
just
100,
didn't.
man. You gave it a damn 100. You
Well,
fucking praised that thing.
Oh, although flavor-wise, I was like, yeah, give me more, I mean, flavor-wise, it freaked me out. I mean, I was just like nubbing the thing and sucking it down until there was just a little teeny tiny bit left. I love the flavor, but I didn't think, I think there's a difference between enjoying the flavor of something and respecting the complexity of a cigar,
True. Valid point.
I mean, I didn't think it was the most complex cigar I ever smoked. It tasted like something that was really old. But I just really, really, really like that dimension. You know what I mean? What did you guys think? Aaron, being that you don't smoke many Cubans, what did you think as far as the complexity on both of them, really?
The Boulevard I really dug. Like I had never tasted those flavors in a cigar before, so I was really digging that. The only issue is I had some construction issues. The draw was really tight for me, and then right at the end of the second third, it went out on me like 4 times in a row. So like light it, take a puff, light it, take a puff. But then as soon as I got through that little section, then it went the rest of the way. But if I didn't have those issues, I would have, I don't know, I would have put it at a really high score.
What about you, Emmett?
I really enjoyed the first 2/3 of it. It turned bitter on me in the last third. I'm not exactly sure why, but I rated it pretty high. I think I gave it like a 91 or 2 overall. So I really liked the flavors. The construction was really good. I thought it was pretty complex myself, but other than turning bitter in the end, I thought there were some nice, really creamy, buttery flavors in there that I picked up on.
I didn't even really. I should have had this up so we could talk shit about it. Let me look it up real quick.
For 16 years, for being 16 years old, I didn't think the flavors were really that complex or there was a lot going on. I didn't really care for a lot of them. But for being 16 years old, you have to admit, that's pretty damn impressive. And you'd be hard to
Yeah.
find a lot of non-Cubans that after 16 years could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, non-Cubans at 15 some years, 15 plus, it'll taste like cardboard.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I've smoked Padrones, which are, 7+ years, and they haven't gained anything. I think they've actually lost a lot of qualities, to be honest with you. But this was just.
The Bolivar ended up with a 90 score overall.
That's because I killed it. That's because I killed it. You get rid of me and it probably.
You killed it. Yeah. Let's see here.
Give an 85.
Well, the lowest. Yeah, your final score wouldn't have been counted in there because we eliminate outliers. So.
What do you call it? I'm an
Oh, do
outlier?
you?
I'm an outlier? Damn.
You
Yeah, you were
are,
definitely an outlier.
Just get off the call. I'm a damn outlier. I'll tell you one thing. That Hoya. Wow.
So why? Hold up here before we get on to this other Hoya, because I know you're going to freak out about it. Why do you guys eliminate outliers? I'm just curious.
I wanted to take a really statistical approach to it instead of just kind of assigning an arbitrary number. So I have you've probably seen the really complex back end when you click through from the site to the spreadsheet that calculates everything. So not only do we give, everybody gives a score for each individual section and aspect of the cigar, and then those scores are weighted after the outliers are taken out. So the most valuable score is the overall score. That's worth I think like 35% of the overall score, and then each third is worth like another 10%, maybe 15. It's been a long time since I made it, but so what ended up happening is the scores are a lot closer together, than I thought they would be originally. So the difference in the scores is more important than I guess on other sites. So like a 91 is a lot better than a 90 than you would expect, I guess. So that's something we didn't anticipate, but I think our readers have kind of caught on to that and understand.
What do you mean by that?
There's a big difference.
Yeah, like I mean, because it's all the scores are averaged out between 5 different guys. There's not going to be as big as swings up and down in the overall score as if just one person is doing it. So like if one guy hates a cigar, it's not going to bring the whole score down. So it's going to be kind of, there's not going to be as many ups and downs, but we've given an 86 is our lowest, and we've given a couple 95s. So there is a decent range, but not as big as some other sites, I guess.
Yeah, I always check reviews when you guys do reviews on stuff that I'm interested in or stuff that I like, just to see kind of where it ended up. And I always seem to see the scores are never too high or never too low.
Right.
And I think it's really interesting to kind of get the different people's takes on everything with the blind. I can't wait actually to see some of the ones that June gets on. June, how do you feel about non-Cuban cigars? Why don't you tell everybody for a second? You haven't talked for a while. I see you drinking whiskey back there. June, why don't you tell us how you feel?
I gotta drink rum, and since this is a Cuban show, I gotta drink some Havana Club. You know what I mean? And by the way, if any of you fuckers in Southern California want to mule me some, you let me know, and I will handsomely reward you. Anyways, moving on. What do I think of non-Cuban cigars? I think that most of them, a lot of them, taste like muddy, gritty earth, and they are way too strong. I'm one of those guys, I don't like real strong cigars, so anytime I get a head buzz, I hate that. It totally kills it for me. I'm also one of those guys that when he smokes his cigars, well, aside from tonight, I'm an ice water kind of guy. And I think non-Cubans, there's an inherent richness in Cuban cigars that a lot of non-Cubans don't have. And the finish for non-Cubans is so muddled sometimes, it just kills your palate. Like I'll smoke a non-Cuban or whatever, armpit asshole, whatever it's made out of, and I'll go try to drink a beer and I can't taste shit. After smoking a good Cuban cigar, my palate is still pretty fresh, and I don't have that nasty, gritty, I bit into dirt, and I could taste beer perfectly.
What non-Cuban cigars do you hate the most?
God. Randy, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. I don't
Throw some hate out there. Throw some hate out there. I want to get the. What the
I don't
hate?
like AJ cigars. I'm sorry. I'm not a big AJ guy. You know, like
Okay.
I love my.
AJ Fernandez sucks. Who else sucks?
Well, sucks. Well, shit. Who doesn't fucking suck? Let me just say
Alright.
who doesn't fucking suck.
Okay. Do it.
There's a lot of shitty ones out there, in my opinion. But La Polina doesn't suck, but they're expensive as fuck. So, you know, unless if I get some for free.
Dude, I had the Mr. Sam last night in the Robusto, and I can see why people like them, but I can't. They ain't worth that money, man. They ain't worth that money. I mean, I honestly, I've told you before. I haven't told these guys. Maybe I've told Seth, but typically when I smoke non-Cubans, I'll grab 2 or 3 just in case. If I think it sucks, I throw it out. I don't care how expensive it is. So, and I was this close to throwing the Mr. Sam away and lighting up a Davidoff second, like a $3 3x3, just because. I didn't think it was bad by any means. I ended up smoking most of it. I got maybe down to the last third and then pitched it, but I can see why people like them. I can see why you guys like them.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's way worth that much. What's that?
Have you smoked the Goldies, June?
Yeah, I've had all of them. Number 2 is still by far the best one.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, bar none. And I smoked my last one a few days ago and almost shed a tear, or else I was gonna go on the auction sites and get raped. You know, I might ask for it. So
call Granville Smith at Signature Cigars in D.C. He possibly has some.
You have to call now, though, because anybody listening has already called.
Yeah, you should
If by some chance Granville's number's blowing up, I'm gonna blow it out. I'm gonna be like, well, he is Courtney.
It's like this back in the background.
A little bit.
If you don't, that's Courtney's brother, and Courtney is with Courtney Smith of La Polina, so that's her brother.
Right.
That's his, yeah. So he's got he's a very big La Polina.
Seth is a baller. He knows people and shit, dude.
Not really. I just know I have an. Dude, the number 2 is by far the best. I have an unopened box in one of my humidors that is just.
Oh really? Oh really?
Really, man. It's along with the 5s and the Lanceros.
What's your address?
Write this down.
And what else? Davidoffs. Some Davidoffs I get down with, but once again, it is so freaking expensive. Or I could get, a box of these for a fraction of the cost. This as in the Epi ones that I'm smoking now and you guys just smoked. I can't justify a lot of non-Cuban cigars.
That's what's really hard for me, honestly, and it keeps going. This is funny because we were talking before we were signed on. Everybody, we were talking about the Hiroshi Rabena, and I don't want to get too far into the Hiroshi Rabena because this is a show about Cubans. But
well, he is Cuban.
He is Cuban, definitely. He's a Cuban guy.
That's a great cigar.
Did you have it, Emmett?
Yeah.
Did you smoke it, Emmett? What did you think?
I thought it was really fucking good.
Yeah. I was telling them I thought it was really, really good. It's just expensive. And to go back to what June was just saying, when I think of would I pay $20 for this cigar, when I could get a 3-pack of those Hoyo de Monterrey number 1s from my neighborhood local LCDH and just be like, blown away every time. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
I agree.
Yeah.
What else? Padrones. I used to love Padrones, but they're still really good. But again, when I talk about the unclean finish, Padrone is like after you smoke a Padrone, I can't taste anything.
Really?
It just lingers in my palate. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe because whenever I go to smoke a Padrone, I'm always drinking like a dark beer. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
With a pair with a porter or a stout or a good brown ale.
I mean, you mix in a dark beer with any non-Cuban, and it tastes fucking amazing. I'm sure. So. was like, oh, I drink a barrel-aged stout with my AJ.
Triple hop IPA, right?
Yeah,
Like that's
exactly.
the IPA world is that's like the world of AJ Fernandez cigars, and I tell people that. I mean, I see these guys drinking these triple hop beers, and like I'm actually going to a brewery, and I played this brewery last night, and they're known for making the hoppiest beers on earth. But they have a couple that are just freaking amazing. But you see these people, I mean, they're freaking root beer. When you drink their root beer, you're like, bah! It's like they injected it with hops, like just melted them straight in the damn cup. It's crazy, dude. It just rips your palate. It's like taking sandpaper over it and just, you're not going to taste shit for like an hour. And if you try and get laid, you are not getting laid. Stank ass breath from running away.
June, have you smoked the new Señoral by Jose Blanco?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
He's a hater.
I don't like it.
He's a hater. What I'll ask you is,
he's being honest.
Jude, I'll ask you this real quickly.
I don't think Blanco did. I think his best one was that 100 Anos one. It was like a Petit Lancero, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Anos Lancero, yeah, with
That
La
was
Roya.
really good.
Didn't we review that, Aaron?
Did you
Yeah,
guys?
but unfortunately, it's hard to come by.
I thought we did.
You guys want some? You guys want some of those Petit Lanceros? I got some. So
You don't like them?
He's like,
No,
I got a box of here, man.
I've got so much shit. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, it's a good stick. It's the original 14 Años Bellicosas is still my cup of tea, but
No. And here's the thing. I think to bring it back and to talk about some positive aspects of non-Cubans, because I don't want motherfuckers to PM me and be like, oh, you know, you talk shit about this. Well, it's also
June, I'm going
objective.
to cut you off right now. This show is about Cubans. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
About non-Cubans.
this is the
You're taking
show
a shit yet.
to let it all out,
Oh.
man. This is
I
like
totally forgot.
one embargo's.
Guys,
like
I have to go. I have to go stab my dog real quickly. I'll be right back.
June, what embargo is
His
like?
dog's name is June, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
This show's like therapy. You can really just let it all out. It's a tree of trust, man. This shit ain't going anywhere.
Well, I will say that non-Cubans, construction-wise, it's phenomenal. Like, absolutely dead on. Every non-Cuban, let's say new production non-Cubans within the last, 4 or 5 years, like, spot on. Aside from a little dabble here and there, that isn't so good. So
Just for production out of Cuba?
no, I'm talking about as
Oh.
compared to Cubans. You know, like the draw non-Cubans are great. Construction-wise, is great.
Yeah.
So,
What is your, when you're looking at Cuban brands, what are your brands? What are your brands off the top of your head right now?
fresh in terms of fresh,
Yeah. man.
meaning 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
Bolivar, some Monte Cristos, some SLRs.
Really? Damn.
No, some Ravinas. But then again, with all those that I just listed, they age phenomenally. You know, I've had some at the matured age, the vintage, the 5-year mark, the vintage mark, the 10+ year mark, and they all have been great.
Yeah.
There's the stuff that's aged stuff. I'm a Cohiba guy. I know Dustin, would rather suck dick than smoke a Cohiba, but I think
still
Cohiba
like dick.
aged are absolutely amazing.
Well, yeah, Cohiba's age. Now, back to SLR. I mean, I have never really had much good luck with their double Coronas. I think those double Coronas are hit or miss.
All right. Well, I'm going
No.
to change your mind on that. So
I'm just saying that I've tried a bunch over the years. I've never bought like cabinets or anything like that, but I've gotten some here and there, and I've had some which are phenomenal, and I mean phenomenal. I see what you're saying. Some of them are phenomenal, but I've had others where I'm just like, for this double Corona, I'd go another route.
yeah,
So,
like which route? You're talking about like what, Sir Winnie's probably?
And just for a double Corona, I mean, probably just like Ramon Iones. You know, kind of going down that road for double Coronas. Oh,
I will say Cuba makes pretty damn good double Corona.
Oh, I'll admit, I'll say.
I agree.
You look at how many non-Cubans are trying to make double Coronas, and there's zero, and the reason is because they can't fucking do it. Anyone who tries fails miserably 99% of the time. Right. But when it comes to, I mean, it's almost like Churchills. I think Cuba's producing some of the best Churchills out there as well. I mean, you can't tell me that you're going to make as good of a Churchill as the Sir Winston. You just can't. Try and make a Sir Winston, and you'll fail miserably.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is, in all honesty, and it's weird because it's one of those things that I never really thought about until I had just kept smoking them so many cigars over the years, and it was like once you really kind of get to try. Have you smoked many Churchills or double Coronas, Aaron or Emmett?
The only one that done is the Sir Winston's.
What did you think of the Sir Winston?
I love them.
Yeah.
My favorite's probably the Partagas Lusitania. I have a box of those from 2010. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Same. Yeah.
Oh, that's one thing I don't like actually. I never had a good Lucy.
What?
Shut up.
Those are so good.
No shit. Like of all, I've had all double Coronas out there, and the only ones that disappointed me were Lucy's.
Jeez. Really?
No.
Well, you know, I have heard from a lot of folks that or at least it seems like that the Lucy is hit and miss with Lucy fans. You know what I mean?
Construction-wise, yeah, definitely.
And I mean, I don't know. I've had some old ones and I've had some newer ones, and they were all freaking great. And I got some from 2010 that are just unfreaking believable.
Yeah, those are the bomb right now. Yeah, I had a box from 09 that like most of them, probably 3/4 of them were plugged, so I couldn't even really enjoy them.
Hey, Dustin.
Yes.
Real quick, is Sherman still on?
Mm-hmm.
Sherman.
He is.
For asking me about the poop thing, I will bomb you those same cigars that we smoked on a blind review, do a review, wherever you want. You know? Shirtless, preferably.
He also said you were talking shit about me and Cohiba while I was gone.
Yeah, we were.
I said you'd rather suck dick than smoke Cohibas. True, right? You hate Cohibas.
No, I do, and it's so funny because I've known, just so you guys know, I've known June for a couple of years now. I think we have traded more than just cigars. I mean, coffee and all sorts of God knows what over the years, and so it's funny for me when it comes to Cuban cigars. If I don't like something, I always give it a try, because sometimes you never find you might find that one year is better than the next year, or maybe it just needed a little bit of age or this and that. And I had never really smoked Cohibas that I liked. I've never liked Cohibas ever. The only one I like is Siglo 6, and I'm gay for Siglo 6. And Bejeque, of course, as well. Love Bejeque. But I remember once we did a trade, and he sent me like a bunch of Cohibas and different sizes and everything, and every single one I smoked was like, meh, these suck. I don't like them. I think they suck. And then I think we even did there was another time where I was like, okay, well, I just want to make sure I'm not crazy, and maybe my palate's changed over the last year, so we did a trade for some other stuff, and he sent me a bunch of Cohiba something or other. I don't know what, I think it was Co-Rose and some other smaller stuff, and I just remember smoking all of them and just thinking that they all sucked. Even an aged SB, which I know you like freaking masturbate to aged SBs, and
I piss on them, then I smoke them. I'd do it.
But it's
Wait, does this mean I'm never gonna get free cigars again from non-Cubans?
No, because
is that what that means? Because I'm thinking back. I love you, AJ. Just kidding.
I love you, AJ. Really, what it means is, honestly, I think the best part about guys like us that are reviewing non-Cubans is, like, I'll be honest, I don't I don't post a lot of reviews of the stuff that I don't like. If I don't like some, I toss it, and I'm not going to hate on somebody because I didn't like it. You know what I mean? And I think that's what is so great about your guys' site is you get so many different opinions that you're not really going to get that. And I would say the same about SigFed's group reviews, the format that we were doing, where you'll see somebody's like 83 and the next guy's like 96, and it all averages out, and they all end up averaging around. I think our average score is like 89 on our group reviews, but
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because
why?
Because when I was down at Cigar Safari, this was after you did the Underground Dogma review, where you
They hated on me.
Yeah, and they looked at me we're on the bus. They're looking at me on the bus, and it's like Jonathan Drew, and he's like, Seth, what's up with Catfish? I was like, what are you talking about? He says, well, you guys do that show, you do Habanos Critic and One Embargo together. What's up with him? I said, what do you mean? He says, we just killed that Underground Dogma. And I said, oh, that's a SigFed thing. Go bitch at Logan for that. So then he just goes and he yells at Logan for it. And Logan looks at me like, I fucking hate you. So.
But what was funny is when I rated it, I actually thought it was really good. But our rating system is based off of how many would you buy at retail, and so I had to be honest. I'm like, hey, this is how many I'd buy. I'd maybe buy one or two because I thought it was really good. I thought it was kind of like a cross between a number 9 and an Undercrown, and which it is, and it was really good. And I even put on there, I would say if I was an Undercrown fan, I would recommend somebody to buy a box of these, And I was trying to be objective, but whatever. It was funny because he didn't say anything to me about it at IPCPR either. He was just like, "Oh, you're Catfish." Yeah, hey, what's up, man?
You're that guy.
But if I liked it, I would say I liked it. And I'm like, I don't ask you to send me shit. I get shit sent to me, and I give my objective opinion. I don't say it sucks. Now, I did think the Herrera Esteli Lancer was harsh as shit, and I said that. And I don't think anybody.
I love that cigar.
Which one?
The Herrera Esteli Lancer.
The LE? I thought that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone thought it was good except for Catfish. So
I thought it was harsh.
That's my number 1 non-Cuban of the year.
Yeah, that's me. That's how I roll.
Now, June,
if everybody likes it, I'm like, this sucks.
You and I are pretty on point with our palates and what we like, typically, anyways.
Well, and it's weird too because really, even when you get into Cuban cigars, and I'll talk about something that I didn't want to, but I'm going to talk about it. You still have the differences in palates. Like you like Cohiba, I don't like Cohiba. Seth is a real big fan of Trinidad. I don't like Trinidad, right?
Oh,
I'm not a huge Trinidad fan. I enjoy him though, man. There's nothing wrong with
Well, and then he likes Sancho Panza, and I thought Sancho Panza tasted like salty dick. It was just.
Oh, dude, really?
I enjoyed the one
Sancho Panza tastes like dried up jizz, is what Sancho Panza tastes
Dude,
like.
I like dried up jizz, man. Give me a damn break. It was a tasty.
You Texas boys, what the fuck?
Now, June, here's a question. Do you like, because this is Catfish and I've gotten a debate over this, Por Laranaga Petite Coronas?
Oh. Ugh.
Oh, man.
With good age on them, they taste like milk chocolate.
See? Thank you. Catfish.
Like fresh, like most Por Laranagas, they taste incredibly bitter.
Yeah. It's like a woman.
Or unsmokable. Or plugged to shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you get a cabinet of 50 of them, so you can smoke 2 of them. So.
Yeah.
Do you like K. Dorsey's?
Oh, love them. I went deep on the Alice. I love those.
Yeah, shut up, Catfish. I know you guys like the K. Dorsey's. Someone bashed me for fucking killing that one time.
Yeah, it was probably Guy because they're made for the French market.
It probably was Guy.
Yeah, it probably was Guy. What were the highest rated? I was looking through your guys' archive and I can't find everything. Or it's just a lot of stuff. What were the most memorable ones that you guys have done, review-wise, that you can think of, Aaron and Emmett? And Aaron, have you done any? Have you done any blind Cubans?
Yeah, I've done a few. There's been a couple batches where Emmett has sent them out, and I've been able to do those. So I have been on a few.
I'm looking at. So the short Churchill was the one I did. Oh, you guys didn't. It was a press release. Let me see.
Catfish, are you still blown away that was an Oya? I don't know about you, but I'm just still in shock and awe.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That was
Absolutely.
that was a great cigar. I could
Absolutely.
smoke it.
Absolutely blown away that was an Hoya. I mean, I'm amazed, honestly.
But it really goes to show the brand and how diverse all the offerings are in that brand, because there's a lot of versatility throughout that entire brand. I feel like.
Yeah, I think.
June's nodding his head.
I think that brand is the most diverse brand.
It is. There's a lot of versatility.
You know what gets me is. Oh, sorry, Dustin. Go ahead.
No, interrupt, guy. Go ahead.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. All right.
It says, "Okay, all right." I was gonna ask Emmett what his favorite brand was.
Oh, okay. I'll leave my. I'll go back on the back of the bus. Go ahead, Emmett.
My favorite brand, Cuban?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. I'd probably have to go with Monte Cristo, though.
It's a solid brand.
What's your experience with Hoyo?
I've had the double Corona. I have a couple. A couple Epis from like 2008. The number 2s. Those are really good.
How would you say this number 1 compared to the double Corona first?
I think the double Coronas are a little milder.
Yeah, I mean it's like super mild.
Yeah, they're just more subtle, kind of sit back and you really think about it cigar,
Mm-hmm.
And we actually reviewed the Connie number 1 in April of 2013.
Really?
And it was a June 2011 box, and it got a 93 back then as well.
Good
Yeah,
cigar.
that's our top 25 list that year.
Yeah.
I'm just looking right now. You guys did a 92 on the El Principe.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
And that
yeah, we did a 90. Go ahead.
That's like one of my favorite cigars, hands down. I freaking love that thing.
Yeah, we gave it 93 to the RYJ exhibition number 4.
Huh.
That was
Interesting.
from like 2004. That had some good age on it.
Yeah.
Oh, those were the those were those freebies that were floating around, June.
That was two winters ago.
Yeah, I didn't get in on that. I didn't have the funds at the time. I was so pissed.
They smoke great, Dustin. Well, yeah, well, you'll get to smoke them. I think you'll really like them, actually. So.
June, what were you going to say earlier before Catfish interrupted you?
Before I was an asshole.
Oh fuck.
On a random note, Emmett's background looks so damn peaceful. The color
Dude,
of that.
it's like all angelic right now.
I know, it's so
It's
tranquil.
Okay,
like
I remember.
Picture.
Okay, me time. Shut up.
Google
time, shut
Vex has a halo if you want to put it up there in it.
Oh, do they? Okay, go,
I was
Jim.
gonna say. So within guys that have smoked Cuban cigars for a long time, there's a complaint that they used to be able to tell what marca is what based upon the flavor profile, right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
But nowadays I hear that those guys, they don't buy new stock because they feel like Cuba basically messed up or changed it up, that they can't tell that a Partagas is a Partagas, for instance, right? Which is interesting because, and the reason I picked this Hoyle, for instance, was I think that it doesn't smoke like a typical Hoyle does at all.
It doesn't.
No.
Right? Like maybe you'll get
Tastes
some
like
of
a
it.
Partagas.
Yeah, like maybe you get some of this flavors down, with the Hoyle, the double Corona, just a little bit, like the stone fruit aspect of it, I think. But for the most part, people shy away from buying Hoyle aside from the double Coronas because they think they age like shit and they taste like shit, and it's too light. So
That's insane. Because even the Robusto, when I reviewed it, it was very light, but it had like super distinct changes. I mean, super distinct. And this one, same thing. You know, when I smoked it, I was like, that first third was too Partagas-y for me. I don't really like Partagas, other than the Lusitania and the shorts. I'm not a big fan. And you know, it was one of those things that it at the end, at the final third, it was like, wow, this is really, really tasty. I bet it would age really well. And I should say that the aged PSD4s that I have had were absolutely phenomenal. So it's one of those brands that for me I would have to let sit for a long time. So you know, that cigar specifically, I was kind of like, okay, I would want to know what this was, because I would want to have 5 to 10 just sitting for 6-7 years, so that when I get to them.
What do you guys think of the Hoyo short Pyramides from the EL from 2011?
gross.
I haven't had it.
Gross.
It's a gross donkey dick sized cigar is what it is.
Have you had that set?
The 2011. No, I haven't smoked any gross donkey dick, but it sounds like Emmett likes it.
I do.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about
Yeah, fuck you. No, I really like it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Emmett. You're talking about the short pyramid, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the 13. My bad.
13 was huge. 13 was gigantic.
No, the short pyramids are great, I think.
I thought they were really good when they came out, but I don't think they're smoking that well. Maybe they're just in, you know, they're still doing this Cuban Asian thing, but
yeah.
By the way, I just smoked a couple of those. The 2013 regional for the Netherlands, but Ramon Iones.
Yeah.
Man, that little petite robusta was amazing. It was a beast,
Really?
though. And I don't know if you'd say it probably needs a lot of age on it, but
which one is that, Seth?
The 2013 regional for the Netherlands, the Ramon Iones.
Oh wow, pretty. Oh, nice. All right.
It was like 4x50. It was a beast, but it's going to age really, really well. Really well.
Have you had a Super Ramon?
No.
You know what I'm talking about? The Canada region?
Super Ramon.
No. I have been smoking my way through those, the 07, the Robustos, kind of Robustos, the Bolivars.
Oh, okay.
The Simones, those are really good.
Oh. I think all Ramon is good. I mean, that's a market I didn't say is I really like Ramon in general.
It's a solid brand, and it's one of those things you wonder. And here's a good question, because Emma, you brought up Cigar Aficionado. You look at that brand, they're giving that Gigantes 92s, 93s every year they review it. I mean, they see it. It's always getting 92, 93. But then when the top 25 comes around, you're like, where the hell is this double Corona? I mean, it's not like, and that's where I'm just wondering where the hell does it go, because it's such a great cigar that you're like, how the hell does this?
I think the top 25 list is 90% bought and paid for. I don't think it has anything to do with how they actually rated the cigars.
Interesting.
I think their normal everyday reviews they publish in the magazines are pretty legit. But I think the top 25 list is bought and paid for sure.
When the Bahique was what, 2010. It was February 11th by the Bahique, which is
that was 2010, wasn't it?
2010, yeah. I still have a box of the 52s from 2010 unopened.
They're amazing, Seth. They smoke well. Well, here's the thing about Bahiques that pisses me off is the 2010 52s have been smoking young but good this whole time, because I will sample out of them every couple of months or so.
Yeah.
Last summer I did like a vertical tasting, I guess, in a way, where I had a 52 from 2011, 2012, 2010, and then I smoked a 54 from 2011 and 12, and then a 56 from 2012. All the 11s and 12s were absolute crap. Like, it tasted extremely muted, and it was almost as if I treated it as a non-Cuban and had a black stout or something. So.
I'll tell you, I thought the 54, the Bahique 54, I thought it was better than the 52, in my opinion.
Yeah, me too.
I thought that was the best size of the three. The 56 was just huge.
Yeah, you gotta let those age.
It was huge.
Have you guys had Behekes yet? Aaron, have you had a Beheke?
I've got 5 of them sitting in my humidor, but I have not broken one out yet.
Why not? What is wrong with you?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You just had a baby.
Yeah, I figured it. Yeah, my celebratory cigar was the Hoyo, so just so you're aware.
Oh, nice. Hey, man, there's
Nice,
nothing wrong
nice.
with that.
Yeah,
That's
good.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's not
You
your
should smoke a.
man. That's not a celebration cigar, Aaron. Jeez.
You should smoke
I
a
know,
second celebratory cigar.
I had to get them in, but
Like-
I'll throw
Like the first.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I
You
was gonna say,
first.
my favorite Cuban that I've smoked thus far is the La Excepcion Selecto Spinos, which was the regional for Italy.
Nice.
It's just been, I mean, I know it's limited and it's expensive. You know, it's close to the $18 to $20 a piece range, but it was fantastic.
I have some and I haven't smoked them.
They're awesome.
I've heard that from everybody, and it's kind of one of those things I just look at it and go, oh, and then one day I'll break it out.
June, did you ever
You-
did you ever smoke the 109?
Conde 109.
Yeah, Edmundo Dantes.
That is drying up, dude. I'm trying to get a fiver, but they're asking for some outrageous prices now.
I was given one, and then I bought one. I was given one as a gift from a local big Cuban guy. Holy crap, that is just friggin' incredible.
Have you had 54?
No.
I heard that the 54 will outshine the 109 from a guy that just smokes all sorts of crazy shit. So yeah.
109 was just
Interesting.
phenomenal, though. I mean, that's just probably one of the best cigars I ever smoked.
Yeah, it's
I was. Whatever. I'm interrupting you guys. Shut up.
Go ahead. How about
I was
Coniva?
trying to ask Aaron at some point in time, or tell Aaron that once you do smoke the Beheke, I'm curious to see what your take is on it, because it. The one thing that I love about that cigar more than anything is it knocks you down. You just get, I mean, I don't know about you guys, about June, Emmett said, but I get a killer buzz off of it when I smoke. That's why I
that's
love
true.
it. That's like my favorite thing is every time I smoke one, about halfway through, I'm just kind of like just zoning out, and I can't talk to people.
It's a great cigar, I think, but it's easy to get disappointed because of all the hype around it. I've given a couple to people, and you know they're just like, yeah, I mean it was good, but I think it kind of gets ruined by the hype.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
why
it's
that's
one
why
of
you
those
unban it.
cigars that-
Judge
That's
right
true.
unban that and give it to him.
Yeah.
No, seriously, you unban it, and after they're not smoking, and be like, hey, what did you think? And then you show them the band.
But the band is so pretty, I don't know.
It is.
True.
And they
I
recently
did it once
changed
with
it,
the
too.
buddy with it was his birthday, and I gave him a Nica Libre unbanded, and I put a Padron band on it.
Oh God,
And then,
nice.
It was amazing. And then I showed her the Nica Libre band. I was like, wow. I was like, you have a goat palate, man.
Dude, a couple guys did that to a guy at my cigar shop, and they put a Bolivar band on like a dog rocket and gave it to him. And I even think it was his birthday. They were so mean.
That's freaking harsh, man.
It was really messed up, and I love the guy too. He's a great guy. So I've got him turned on to a lot of Cuban stuff, and he knows what the good stuff is now. But the Beheke though is the one that when I give to non-Cuban smokers, and they smoke it, and they just they get so ripped from it. It's like they can appreciate the strength, the nicotine strength, because I think you get that out of some of the Lajero bombs that are out there. You know, you get that that nicotine strength without overpowering your palate. You know what I mean? Which is why I like them. I actually like the 56. I love the 56. I don't think it's as complex as the 54, but for me, it's just one of those things where when I'm smoking it, I just want to smoke it and get completely loaded and be like, I'm going to sink into this big leather chair at the cigar bar and not deal with life for a little bit.
Aaron, email me your address because I want to send you guys something. I want to send
Okay.
you guys something which I'm curious on everyone's thoughts on this one, June in particular.
Unbanded.
He likes donkey
Oh
dicks.
yeah, this shit's gonna be unbanded like no other. You guys will not be able to guess what the fuck this thing is.
We're gonna have a donkey dick follow-up show. Is that what we're doing?
All I know is I sent Logan a 10-year-old Gurkha. Well, it was a symphony. It was a symphony back from 2004, Connecticut. And this is actually a really good cigar. I love this cigar. This was like one of my first cigars, basically, since when I came back to the States. And Logan's like, this cigar is friggin' incredible. And I told him what it was, and he was pissed as shit. And he was fucking livid.
I can't believe it's a Gurkha.
Oh yeah, he was livid.
That's funny,
We reviewed a
dude.
couple Gurkhas on the site, and they've actually scored pretty well.
Oh, I gotta look that up.
You never know,
Dude,
man. You never know.
That's what's funny is you guys totally. That's what I love about the site is because whenever I see stuff that I either really don't like or I'm really kind of interested to see, you never know what it's going to be. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah. We actually did Ron Mexico's, and
Did you?
it did not get shit on.
It ended up with like an 87, but somebody, I think one person who isn't a panelist anymore gave it like a 92.
So it's not it wasn't the worst reviewed cigar on the site.
No, it's like it's maybe the third worst, but it's not the worst.
Yeah.
What's the worst one you guys have reviewed?
I think the lowest score was 86. I think it was a I think it was a Partagas from like 2000, and all of the samples were plugged, so it was just we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I actually saw that. I was looking up some of your Cuban reviews, and I saw that one, and it was an 86, and I figured, being that it was a 00, it was probably all of them were plugged.
Hey man, have you smoked the double Inmundos?
Have not had one of those yet.
June, have you smoked one?
It was. I have. I smoked the Double Mundo as well as the Petite number 2s.
Petite number 2s are great.
They're freaking amazing.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm glad you agree on that.
I sent some to Catfish. Catfish and I were like, these are great.
Mm-hmm.
Along with the Partagas, the
I was
D5s.
surprised. I was like, wait a minute. I'm smoking a freaking 2000. What is it? I think it was a 14 box.
Oh man,
It
it's
was one of
phenomenal.
the pickup boxes too. So
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's like I sent the D5s to Catfish, and Catfish, you really like the Partagas D5s.
Oh yeah, and I hate the D4, which is funny. Like I think the D4 sucks. It's just like, bleh.
And I've heard the D6 is really good as well. I mean, it's just kind of a classic Partagas D4, D5, it's just even shorter. I don't know.
Yeah.
June, maybe you smoked the D6.
what, the D6?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. You know what? I'm not a Partagas fan, to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Man, have you smoked the PSD4s?
Yeah, they've been just okay for me. They don't blow me away or anything.
Because most people, like June and I don't like the Partagas, but seems like most guys that smoke a lot of NCs dig the Partagas. Am I wrong, or would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, that's fair. They're probably above.
Partagas and Boulevard, I would say.
Yeah, it seems like the D4 is the one that everybody's like, oh, you got to try this when you first start kind of getting into the foray of Cuban cigars, and then some guys still love them, but a lot of guys like me, I think they're just terrible.
Catfish, you and I are big H. Upman guys.
Yes, I'm an H. Upman whore. Absolute hooker for H. Upman. I will suck dick for H. Upman.
I don't know about hand job. I don't know about sucking dick, but
For a good aged one, man, oh my god. Damn. Best, and I only say that because it's the best cigar. I think it's the cigar that really turned me into Cubans was it was a 2004 H. Upman number 2, and I can't remember who sent it to me. But it was around the time that I started reviewing, and I had been reviewing for a while, and I got out of smoking 5 AJ Fernandez cigars a day, and I think it was I wanted to have a clean palate when I was reviewing. For Rob back in 2011, and I think I don't know who sent it to me honestly, but I remember I think it was one of my buddies in Visalia actually that gave it to me. I think it was Cigar Ninja, if you remember him from cigar.com. June, if you remember the Cigar Ninja guy. But
Which guy? Oh,
I think
I want to
I
say.
think he was like Ninja or Cigar Ninja, and he like would bomb people, and then they figured out who he was. And
Oh, him.
you
Yeah.
remember that guy? His name was Chris. And anyways, I think he gave it to me, and I remember sitting on my porch and smoking it, and just thinking it had so much body and flavor and distinct changes. It was like smoking 3 different cigars, and the finish was just unbelievable. And then from that point on, I was like, okay, I need to like figure out what's going on, because this is a whole other world here that is just different to me, and it changed the way I viewed non-Cuban cigars, because once I got a taste of that finish, then I was super critical of non-Cuban cigars after that. And I'm interested. I mean, I know how critical you are of them, June.
Yeah.
But Emmett, Seth, and Aaron and I are all in the reviewers game, and I honestly, I still buy plenty of non-Cubans. I just got a couple boxes of Xenos and what else? Curvaris and Regis, the new Regis Orchon. I still stock with stock plenty of them because I enjoy them. But do you guys think that the other 4 guys outside of June? Do you guys think that Cubans changed the way you reviewed or affected the way that you looked at non-Cubans when you review?
No, I've always I view it like domestic versus import cars, like just 2 different animals, but you got good and bad of each. I got into Cubans shortly after I got into non-Cubans, so I wouldn't say it like ruined it for me or anything, but
yeah.
I think that the non-Cubans, when you and I first started talking cigars, Dustin, which is like, what, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So when I reflect on those non-Cubans, I'm talking about Nika powerhouses. We're talking about stuff that is so peppery that it just scorches your palate from the get-go, and it just muddles your palate. So when I went from that to Cubans, that's why I did the non-Cuban ditch. I will say non-Cubans nowadays are way better than what it used to be.
Yeah, they're getting better. They're getting better.
So I'm not here to shit on all non-Cubans by any means.
Yes, you are.
There's ones out there.
It's okay.
For sure.
Accept it.
No.
There's been a transformation over the years.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to watch June smoke a 601 Bomba.
Ooh.
I'll pitch it after 2 puffs, man, and I'm just gonna say I'm sorry.
I just want to see you could do the whole thing.
It's funny because
the strongest cigar I've ever had. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, it is. And I actually think that I have smoked one, and I actually thought it was for as strong as it was. I thought it was a really good smoke.
Yeah, totally. I enjoyed it, but it tore my mouth apart.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, like a lot of those types of cigars, when I smoke them, I'm like June. I mean, we actually exchanged a lot of text messages about what we just pitched, because and I don't ever say anything to the people that gift them to me or whatever. But I might get one trade from somebody. They're like, "Oh, you got to try this. It's like the newest, greatest thing," and blah 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 blah. And especially on CFed, we've got all sorts of fanboys of all this stuff, and I've learned to not get hyped about anything because I'll get them and like, oh, this is our, somebody thinks this is their cigar of the year, blah blah blah, and I like smoke 2 puffs at it and just, whatever, that sucks.
Yeah.
And it was some LE, I mean, honestly, the Herrera Esteli Lancero, and I'm nothing against those guys, but if I wasn't reviewing it, I would have pitched it. I would have just pitched it,
That's
and I know Seth
that's
likes it. I know a lot of people like it. So it may have just been my palate that day, but I know it. My experience with the Herrera Estelis in general is they're pitchers for me. So I think it just might have been that,
Yeah, I didn't care for any of the Herrera Estelis, but for me the Lancero was just a completely different animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a lot different than them.
It is.
I think Seth probably.
It's a brand that does well in certain sizes. I think it does really well in the lawns, on the really small size. But if you get into the bigger ring gauges, it really isn't as good.
Yeah, we reviewed the Toro right when they came out, and I was expecting it to be like, the highest scoring one ever, but it got like an 89, which, pretty below average for us.
Well, and this is interesting. This is one that there's one. I know we're talking about non-Cubans, and some people get pissed off, but I don't care. It's my show. Well, Seth and I's show. But one of the ones that you guys did really high was the Total Flame FTW, and I don't know if I've ever sent you one, June, but you got to smoke one. I freaking love them. That was one of my favorite cigars.
Huh. No, never had it. I've all the good non-Cubans that I've had, you sent me, like Elogio, Regius, El Cedro, great cigars. So
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know about Total Flame, but that FTW is fucking good.
Yeah, I bought a ton of those. That was a box product for me.
Yeah,
FTW.
The highest score on our site.
Yeah, it's a 95 on your site, which is nuts.
95, yeah.
And judging by the way you guys score, that's really, really high.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
What did this mystery cigar? What did the mystery cigars get again?
The Hoyo was a 94, which is top 10 that we've reviewed for sure in the score.
That's nuts.
Huh.
Props to you, June, for sending one of the top 10s. Being blind in that regard.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Aaron, how can you not love Cubans? It only gets better from here, buddy, and you're fucking 30 minutes away from me, so.
Yeah, well, I just remember a couple of weeks ago when you come over to the house and you bring a couple Cubans and you pitch both of them.
I did.
So.
Wasn't that good?
What did you pitch?
You know what it is? I think it's because we paired beer with it. And anytime you pair anything other than water, it completely changes everything, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't like pairing stuff with my smokes. It's always ice water or just water.
Really?
No.
Really? Well, let's go on that topic then. I'm going to pretend that I am a cigar surgeon for a second, the master of pairings. Aaron, what do you prefer to pair with?
When I'm reviewing, I'm drinking Pellegrino, just because it really cleanses my palate. But if I am
fuck reviewing, we're talking about enjoying.
All right, coffee.
Okay. I was drinking iced coffee just now.
Yeah, so coffee is an easy pairing. There's tons of cigars that have the coffee notes in it or cream, and it just goes right with the coffee. So that's kind of a no-brainer for me. Root beer, cream soda, ginger ale.
Yeah, too. I love that.
Those work well. And then I don't drink a lot of spirits just because I don't know. I don't go out and buy a bunch of bottles and stuff, but some scotch or some whiskey or some bourbon at times. But you have to find the right cigar so that the alcohol isn't overpowering the cigar for me. So.
What about you, Seth? Wild man, drunk on the show all the time.
Yeah, just when I'm enjoying it, gosh.
Port. Throw that in there.
Malbecs, Shiraz, Zinfandels, some Pinot Noirs, triples. If I'm going to get into the beers, triples. If you get into the spirits, I usually don't drink spirits by themselves. Mojitos, rum and cokes, cappuccinos, coffee. That's about where I go.
Emmett?
If I'm reviewing, it's always water, but if it's a cigar I know already, I'm a whiskey guy, so I'll usually break out a good bourbon or a scotch.
Me, lately, what's weird is I'm definitely a big iced coffee fan. That's what I was drinking right now, and I think it always pairs well with Habanos, but Habanos specifically with the lightness of them. You can't really get anything too powerful. Beers specifically, I think, like June said, really can ruin a Habanos. NC is totally different. When I'm drinking beers with my buddies, that's when I grab my travel humidor, throw a bunch of NCs in there, and it's like, whatever, just smoke anything, it doesn't matter. But Habanos, lately I've been and I got to give a shout out to one of the guys on SigFed. This guy, he didn't know what to send me, so he sent me a bottle of Knob Creek 100 proof. And I love Kentucky straight bourbons, but I don't drink enough of them don't drink enough to like, try them all the time. So for me, it's like I buy a bottle, and if it's good, it takes me about 3 or 4 months to get through it, and if it's bad, then I cook with it. And lately, the Knob Creek. I mean, I've been reaching for it. It pairs so well with cigars. With everything I've paired it with has been freaking great.
You should try the Knob Creek Rye if you haven't yet.
See, I don't like ryes because they're so spicy. Most ryes are real spicy.
Strong, yeah.
And
JD and Antano.
Yeah, no, I'd puke off that shit. Those JD.
It really even comes down, if you want to break it down further, it's you're pairing. You can't look at just pairing cigars with. There's certain cigars that go well with certain things. I think you really have to break it down. And you're looking.
So for Habanos, like, what would you say, Seb?
Once again, it really depends on the Habanos. I mean, like a traditional oil that's softer, creamier. Like a Epicure No. 2 Robusto. I mean, I like champagne or a really good Chardonnay. It's just going to kind of go more hand in hand. I'm not going to go pair that with like a Zinfandel, because the Zinfandel I pair more with a Partagas or a Bolivar. And then you get a Cohiba, and I probably do that more with like a Mojito. Just pair it off of those.
That's because it comes with a palate mojitos, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I think that they go better. I think those go better overall. I mean, certain, if you look at a lot of stuff coming out of like Miami, like El Titan, you look at some of those Goli Liguitos, I think those go really well with Mojito or like a triple. I think Herrera Esteliz, we've talked about them, they go well with a triple style. It really depends on the brand overall. So then I get really into it.
I want to ask June this question.
Aaron, here's the question for you. I know, Dustin, it's me time. Okay.
I don't go.
Right. I know
go, June, go.
I know you're the host, but seriously, okay. Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay. So you recently did a show with the SigFed pairing show with John, right?
Yeah.
And you did ciders, correct?
Right.
And I think if I remember right, you smoked a pretty light cigar, which is a Perdomo Champagne.
Correct.
How do you feel it paired in general with ciders with the light cigar?
That one worked well because it was the lighter cigar, and the ciders aren't really strong. They're kind of that mellow apple juice flavor without the sweetness kind of thing. So it worked out well. I know that John went with the Brickhouse Mighty Maduro, which he said pretty much overpowered all the ciders he was trying. So
Yeah, I would expect that.
it like Seth was saying, it's just you have to pick the right cigar for the right drink. It's not gonna.
Yeah, I think
you
matching
can't say-
the body is really important.
Right.
Yeah, because I was thinking. Go ahead. Sorry, back to you, host. Go ahead.
So I was going to ask you how the Havana Club is going for you. Like, do you think Havana Club? Because I've actually never had Havana Club, but I've had my fair share of Zaya and Zacapa and Floricano, and they're all great pairing with cigars. But how is Havana Club pairing with Habanos, in your opinion?
They're great. I don't think it overpowers my cigars. So let's say I take, I'll take a drink of Havana 7. I'm drinking Havana 7.
Which is the best? Have you drank a lot of Havana Club rum?
Just 7. I had the XO. I've been pretty big into rums lately. I'm starting to hit some of the like higher end rum stuff lately. Like Eldorado 21, Zacapa XO, fucking phenomenal rums. I mean, just it's almost like you have the rum molasses aspect of it, and then you could almost add in a layer of like port flavors, which is wild. It's amazing. But I think with the Havana 7 and having it with this Epi 1, it doesn't take away from it. I would say they're not complementary, but I will also say that because it doesn't draw one away from the other, to that extent, I think it's a good pairing.
Yeah,
But
the
you're enjoying
Havana
both.
Club 7 is so smooth. You can drink it neat, and it won't overpower a medium body cigar.
See, I've paired. I've always liked pairing Zacapa or Zaya with Habanos, but I chill them, and I think the chill brings out kind of the apricots and caramelish flavors that complement the light body of the Habanos profile for the most part. And to be honest, I smoke more of the milder Habanos in general. I think that's because that's just what I like. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Seth's a big wine guy, so he's always posting all sorts of crazy.
Hey, Seth, when you said that it's before you came back to the States, where were you?
Oh, I was living in Europe. I lived in Budapest.
Like, I'm sorry, where in Europe?
Budapest, Hungary.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, my first cigar was an H. Upmanster or Winston. I mean, that's started out right there. I mean, that was back in 1998. So, long time ago.
Huh.
13, man, 13.
13 years old, smoking a Sir Winnie, dude.
Smoking Sir Winnie. You could bet I was feeling it at the time too, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's funny.
But.
I was.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. We haven't had the DA. The DA hasn't chased me at all this show yet. They were before the show started, but they haven't come out. Haven't had any helicopters, no ghosts.
Yeah, usually have ATF, DEA, ghost, something, man.
Yeah, there was a couple ghosts chasing me on this show one time. I think it's because I changed from the gazebo to the porch. So there's no ghosts or anything. So on a last note, I just want to say thanks to you guys for participating in this because as we move forward in the show, I mean, God, this is our 18th show now. What is it? How do we pronounce 18?
Dieciocho.
Dieciocho.
Yeah, you gotta do the little dance with it, man.
It's weird because we don't really, I mean, I don't know. Like I said earlier in the show, it's so hard for us to come up with topics because there's when new releases come out, it's like, oh, new releases, and then you don't see them for 2 years.
Really?
And then there's no news, and if there is, everybody else has already got it, so who gives a shit?
Yeah, there's new Cohiba bands. That's the news.
Yeah, woo!
Yeah.
But we are going to do a show here. I know Simon is in the chat room, and he wants to know about the new Vagueros. And to that, I would say, go to habanoscritic.com and read my review, bro.
Yeah,
we are going to do a show about that here soon, and I think June will absolutely hate it. I think Seth's going to really like it a lot, honestly.
You were praising that stick when you were smoking it, man.
Jizz, is that why you like it because of that?
What's that? What's that?
You think
June?
it tastes like dried jizz? Is that why you think Seth will like it?
Yep, that's exactly why I think you'll like it.
You're like one friggin' Sancho Panza someone sends you with some age on it. I'll stand by that, man. It was a decent Sancho Panza. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
It's funny because in the world of Habanos, there's plenty of flavors that are out there, and I think doing this blindly really kind of showed us that. I mean, we smoked a Bolivar that didn't taste like a Bolivar, and we smoked a Hoyo that didn't taste like a Hoyo, But it's really interesting to me how much variance there is. It's just like the non-Cuban world. There's something out there for everybody in the different palettes that are out there. And the Vagueros, in my review, I said I thought it was really it's extremely strong. And I know it will. A bunch of people are going to be like, this sucks. But I think if you gave that cigar to, I think if I gave that cigar to Aaron and didn't tell him what it was, he would probably smoke it. And if he likes more powerful stuff, he'd be like, oh, wow, this is really good. It's got a really clean finish. It's not too complex, but great little short smoke, not like blowing the world up crazy complexity, but For how powerful it was. It was
Blew
cool.
up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's up. We're going to do, I think our next show, we were supposed to do the Hoyo San Juan. Was that the one that you did, Seth? The San Juan?
That's a great young smoke, man. That's friggin' phenomenal.
We were supposed to do our last show on that,
We
and
were gonna
scheduling
talk about that
conflict came up.
custom roll. That custom roll.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about Hector Luis Prieto as well. But scheduling conflict came up, and whatever, him and Coop decided to talk about Cuban-esque cigars and pissed off all the international crowd.
Let's talk about it for the next 2 hours. Let's talk about what twang means, you guys.
Pissed off.
What does twang mean? Okay.
Half of France, man. Jeez.
I know, but you know what? It was great because it really did. Anytime you can create controversy and get a discussion going, I think it's a very good thing.
And Coop, I'm sorry, that wasn't a jab at you. I actually really like the way we view, all right? So I'm just...
Coop's the shit. I love Coop. I mean,
Dude,
honestly.
the chat room was blowing up and the hate mail was pouring in, man.
It's freaking awesome. But, I don't... What the hell? What did you just say, June? I don't even remember.
Twang.
Oh, twang. Well, see, I take offense to the word twang.
Twang.
Because I'm from Bakersfield. I play Telecasters. We play country music, and twang is something that comes out of a Telecaster. So it's an interesting term. When everybody says Cuban twang, and I think it's just one of those things. It's been said. I know Emmett said it earlier. So he's probably like, shit, this guy hates me.
You just have to think of Cuba as a guitar.
Yeah, as a Telecaster.
Well, regardless of the name, do you still think that there's that distinct flavor that only is Cuban? Okay.
Absolutely.
So
And it's I just say I'm just being a dick. But it's
a twang-like quality.
I have to try not to say it in reviews, just because I think it's something that it's okay. I'll put it. How could I say this? I think it's one of those key words that people use too often when they use it instead of describing what they're actually tasting, if that makes sense. Right?
What does it taste like to you? Like what would you describe?
I don't know. It's different in every cigar. It's different in every one.
But then can't you say that it's different in every one, it's different for every person, but for that one person, that quality is that Cuban twang. For instance,
it's that twang.
I get this, and I always say it's like this salted, imagine this piece of cedar that's been sitting on the damn beach for like a month now. And you start toasting it a little bit, and it's giving off some salty water qualities and some beach-like qualities. That, to me, is my version of the Cuban twang.
You should talk about shoes a lot, Seth. Jeez.
It's hard. It's hard because now that you put me on the spot, it's hard to think of how I would describe it. Because it is extremely unique. It's like this sharp earth. Just when it hits you, you know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It tastes like roasted pumpkin with a little bit of salt, like after
crazy.
Halloween.
Like pumpkin seeds. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, that's anytime I taste that, I've been able to tell in blind reviews when it's Cuban because I can taste that.
Yeah, when you guys sent me the Romeo, I was just like, I looked at it and went, yep, this is Cuban. Smoked it, yep, this is Cuban.
Yeah.
Immediately. I mean, it was, but there have been some non-Cubans that I've gotten that from, but it's very rare. Honestly, it's very rare.
So you'd say those non-Cubans or Cuban-esque?
Cuban-esque, yeah, that's right.
Shit. Here we go.
Deal with it, Guy. Deal with it, Simon and Guy. I know Simon's watching right now because he put it on there. I don't know if Simon was one of the guys, or no, it wasn't Simon. He didn't get pissed off. It was Charlie. It was Charlie
was.
Wait, hey, Dustin, when you say Charlie, which Charlie are you talking about? Where is he at?
Oh, not Charlie who got the ice challenge thrown at him in Germany. This is a guy on SigFed. This guy on SigFed.
Okay, not the Charlie that you think that not the Charlie that I'm thinking about at all.
No, not that Charlie.
Oh,
the other white meat Charlie.
We're not going to talk about. This show is not about Asian chicks, dude.
Oh my gosh. Wrap it up.
That's next episode.
I don't know.
We're talking about motorcycles today.
Yeah, we're talking about motorcycles. We're talking about, hey, I think we're going to do a contest to raise money to buy ourselves motorcycles. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Yeah, that was that was a hot topic for us. Another hot topic in the history of what Embargo was when I forgot the name of our own damn show, was when we talked about the review of the fake Monte Cristo #2. Did you guys see that?
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
I saw.
Did you see that, Emmett and Aaron?
No, I didn't see it.
We had a lot of interesting mail come in regards to that afterwards. At least
It was so awesome.
I'm not going to say the amount of people who were who messaged me saying that was too damn funny and too damn true, because I don't want to name names, but it was, gosh, that was
basically a well-known cigar blog reviewed a fake Monte Cristo #2 and decided to say that it tasted like the cigar of the year and it was amazing. And really, we revealed on our show that it was a piece of dog shit with some charcoal and grass and horse poop rolled up in a wrapper.
Hey, you said there was some banana leaves in there too. Don't forget.
Oh, there's probably some banana leaves in there, you know. But it was, some people were mad. But it was funny because we didn't get, like, normally if you mention this website or use any of their pictures or anything, you get, like, threatened lawsuits and all that kind of stuff, and there was no threats to us at all. There's no threats.
Yeah, there wasn't any.
No, I know, which cracked me up, because normally there's threats coming from some websites, you know, which is, it's hilarious. To me, at the end of the day, it's like, it's a cigar. Like, seriously, this is the cigar industry. I think people take it way too freaking seriously, honestly. Like, just shut up and enjoy it. I think that, if anything, that at least with the blind format, I think really forces you to just sit back and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because that's what it is, and that's ultimately what it is. Is this good or not? Like, you're not smoking a band, you're smoking a cigar. And I think way too many people smoke bands and not cigars. You know, which is really nice that you guys have that out there for people, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where it came from, it doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter what brand it is. You know, it's whether or not you like it.
Exactly.
Had a good experience. You know what I mean? That's what it all comes down to. Is, to me, what it, you know, this show and just cigars in general is, do I enjoy it? Because if I'm not enjoying it, why am I doing it?
No.
You know. And I think June would agree with that, because if he doesn't enjoy it, he goes and takes a shit and tosses it. How you feeling, June? How's your digestive system?
It was such a good diet. Like, it's a wonder for you guys.
Tell us about that.
No, it's
You're
just,
well known.
you know,
You're
I
well
don't
known for your digestive system.
It's one of those shits where you don't have to, like, it's not like one of those shits where you have to eat Mexican food and you have to, like, sit there for fucking 2 hours. No.
Embargo, episode Dieciocho.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right, we're ending it. Okay, never mind.
It's just like, take it off live. Right
Go
now.
offline.
Please.
We're going to stop the broadcasting and we'll continue our private chat to all the viewers out there watching. Get a fucking life, man. We're talking about shits. So, yeah, seriously, we love it all. So,
Well, it's in all honesty, it's an inside joke on cigar.com forum that Jude and I are on. That's been going on for years. That's why it showed up in chat. You know, but it's an old one. It's been around forever.
Much love for the CCOM forum folks. Definitely much love. My first home and still a home. So
there you go.
Absolutely.
What Embargo, episode Dieciocho. We're joined by the guys from Blind Man's Puff, and I'll be sending them some blind cigars. See what they have to say about that shit whenever they get.
Isn't you being a dick and turning this off on us? Is that what you're doing right now?
We're going to stop broadcasting. We can keep talking, but we're not going to be live anymore.
Yeah,
We're
it probably is a good time. Actually, I need to go. I'm supposed to go